We were so happy to invite and have all of the candidates you see behind me agree to come and participate. Just as an informational piece, there are 2 other candidates that will be on the ballot, but they are running in uncontested seats. So in the interest of time, they decided not to participate tonight. But we have 9 candidates up here. You can see what their names are. We put name badges up there, so I don't need to read them off to you. We did put them in order of the offices that they are running for: mayor, city council, school board, places 5 and 6. They have all been given questions, which I will allow our moderator, Brian Rewe, to explain in a little more detail. Just a couple of quick announcements. The Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring a liquor by the drink petition drive. So if you're interested in that from an economic development standpoint, please sign the petition. They're out in the lobby. And just since I've got you all here as a captive audience, just to let you know, we have a couple of big events coming up in May. One is our Thunder on the Colorado motorcycle rally, the first weekend in May. And our second weekend in May is the fly-in out here at the airport, right here in Smithville. Come out from 10 to 2 and see all the planes and come to the helicopter candy drop for the kiddos. Now I've done my little bit and told you what's going on. So I'm going to introduce our moderator and get the show started.
Thanks, April. Well, welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. I think Abraham Lincoln described it as government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and that's what we're doing here tonight. So congratulations to all of you. There really aren't a whole lot of explanations to be done. We have a series of questions. They were submitted by the general public and then weeded through by some select group of extremely intelligent people, and I'm not sure who they are, but I assume they're in the room, so thank you. I'll read the questions, and then I'll tell you how much time you have to answer those questions. We have a couple of general questions, and so I'll read the question once, and then we'll go through the group, and then we'll break down into questions specifically for the mayoral candidates, the council candidates, and the school board, and I will address those in a group. So if we finish, for example, with the mayor's questions, I'm sure that y'all will be polite and quiet as I work through the rest of the group. I'm going to be pretty particular about the timing. I've got a timer up here. I'll do my best to set the timer off to record. I'll do my best to give you a little signal if you're about to run out of time. I can't promise I'll get that exactly right, but I'll do my best. It's got an obnoxious kind of ringing to it when it goes off, and I really appreciate if you'll stop, even if it's in mid-sentence. If you don't feel like you've completed your thought, well, you should have planned better. You could maybe add it to your time on your next question if you would like to do that. And you will have closing statements at the end, so anything that you feel like you weren't able to address as well as you wanted to, remember, we have the closing statements. So, April, did I cover it? All right, well, we'll get started. And the first question is a general question for all candidates. Like I said, I'll read the question once, and then I'm going to start down there at the end with Mr. Green, and we'll just work our way across. Okay, first question. Please tell us about yourself, what office you are seeking, why you are seeking this specific office, and your qualifications to fill this office. And this is a 2-minute question. So, Mr. Green, you're on the clock.
Okay, are we on? There we go, thank you. If y'all don't mind, I'll just sit down. I'm Don Green. I've lived in Smithville 10 years. My wife and Vicki and I bought the home as a second home just to kind of come to on the weekends. We lived in Katy, Texas, on which I was on the homeowners board. And I hate to admit that because I didn't like the homeowners board, but that's why I ran for it. It's to help the people that owned houses in there to keep being, let's say, overly watched with some of the people that was on the board itself. Can y'all hear me back there? Am I speaking loud enough? Raise your hand if you can't hear me. Okay. I was born in Terrell, Texas, east of Dallas. about 45 miles, so that makes me a native Texan, which I'm very proud of. I'm 62 years old. I've always lived in Texas. Of course, I got out of Terrell, Texas when I was 18 because there was nothing to do in Terrell except work at the liquor store or the used car store. So we had double the population Smithville did, but it was still the same, you know. I think we had one manufacturing plant there, the aluminum plant. I'm running for mayor. And,
15 seconds.
I'm running for mayor, and the reason I am is I've dealt with the city's office on issues that basically required me going up there and having a frank situation and
Mr. Green,
discussion.
your time is up.
Thank you.
By the way, I'll try to stand up in 15 seconds so I won't make an announcement. Scott Saunders.
First, I would like to say thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this forum, and thank you to everyone in attendance tonight. It's also good to see the Boy Scouts here. I know that you have a government merit badge that you can work on. I was a Life Scout. I didn't get my Eagle, and that's one of my biggest regrets, so stick in there with it. I married my high school sweetheart, Leah, and we were both born and raised in Smithville. We have a daughter named Rosalie, and a big announcement, another one on the way. I graduated from Smithville High School as a member of the National Honor Society, PALS, PACS, BAND, DECA, and many other organizations. I graduated from Sam Houston State University in 2008 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Political Science and General Business Administration. I am a business owner and a member of the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce, Smithville Moon Lions Club, W.J. Nixon Masonic Lodge, Smithville Volunteer Fire Department, and the First Presbyterian Church of Smithville. I'm humbly serving the citizens of Smithville on place 5 of the City Council, and my second term is about to come to the end. This community and the citizens that live here are near and dear to my heart. From a very young age, I became interested in politics, and as I have grown, so has my passion to be involved. I have deep roots in this community and feel like I have a pretty good understanding about what our city's wants and needs are. I'm easily accessible as I'm heavily involved with community activities year-round. As a business owner of a farmer's insurance and financial services agency, I have opportunities to enhance many skills. I am also the National Legislative Director of the United Transportation Union Auxiliary. During the 82nd Texas Legislative Session, I served as a Senate Assistant Sergeant-at-Arms. These positions helped me develop strong and positive relationships with our state and national representatives, making it possible to discuss municipal issues and regulations. I'm tremendously involved in the community and organizations, allowing me to experience different aspects of the wants and needs of this community. My degrees in political science and business help me navigate the political spectrum, ensure a bright and prosperous future for our community. This City Council term has been one of growth, change, and progress, and shows no sign of slowing down. I ask for your vote May 7th. Thank you very much. Y'all can clap after we talk if y'all want to. That would be, we just bring it up a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, Scott, you had a couple of extra seconds, so I'll let you go with that unsolicited comment. I won't do that again. Okay, well, same question. We're going to move to the place 5 council candidates. And first, Kelly Holt.
I'm Kelly Holt. It seems to be popular to these days to identify yourself as a native Texan or a 5th generation Texan or some generation Texan. I happen to claim 6 generations in West Texas, which is a pretty good thing if you can last it out there for 6 generations. My home is in Midland, and I grew up in and worked later in the oil business before moving to Austin and then to Smithville right before the 2011 fire. I kind of literally got baptized by fire. In fact, you were one of my first friends, Troy. After that, during the volunteer efforts. I earned a degree in film and television production from University of Texas, which I used extensively in my career. I worked on a lot of films, short films, events, produced 2 television shows in Austin. And I'm now working have a couple of small businesses, and I'm working as an investigative reporter for an international news magazine. I also serve as a professional public speaker on some specific topics that are also related to my work in the Texas legislature. I didn't see you there, and I apologize for that. Have spent almost 20 years working in the legislature, both reporting on policy issues and testifying before committees. I might say that my reason for seeking office surfaced when the smart meter controversy happened last fall in Smithville. However you come down on the issue of the smart meters, it did reveal that there was a large gap in understanding among the citizens of Smithville about their lack of understanding on how city government works and how it really does work. Well, I'm a trained investigator, so I hope to use this experience to bridge that gap.
Thank you. Troy Stewart.
Hello. My name is Troy Stroyer, and I'm seeking place 5 on the Smithville City Council. Originally, I'm from San Antonio, and after graduating high school, I attended Texas Tech University, where I studied architecture and business. I settled in Smithville in 1996, where at the age of 22, I opened up Pockets Grill on Main Street. Pockets was just named Smithville Business of the Year by the Chamber, and in September, we'll be celebrating 20 years in business. I have 2 children, a 13-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. I consider myself a hardworking individual who puts a lot of drive and passion into what I do. I was raised on the notion that if you don't know how to do something and you can save money doing it yourself, you need to learn how to do it. I also love a good challenge, and if I'm elected, I look forward to the challenge of taking on a very active role as your councilman. I would not have the success that I've had without Smithville's support, so I've always had a passion for serving my community. I've served 9 years as a board member on the Smithville Chamber of Commerce, and I look forward to serving on the City Council as well, while I will work diligently to strengthen our local economy and preserve the character of this small town. I believe my biggest qualification would be the fact that I am a multiple business owner with 20 years experience. In the grand scheme of things, running a restaurant or a business has a lot of similarities to running a city government. I work hard every month to maintain a strict budget by finding ways to reduce expenses, by eliminating unnecessary spending, and searching for ways to increase revenue. I deal with multiple vendors, and I manage a staff of 10 to 15 employees. Being in the customer service industry, I deal with people, problems, and put out fires on a daily basis. I will use all these proficiencies that I have learned throughout my business career and apply them to my job as your city councilman.
Okay, now we're going to move to the school board candidates. Place 5, the 3 candidates, and then place 6, we'll take them in that order. So, Mr. Morgan, you are up.
My name is Mike Morgan, and I'm seeking re-election to the Smithville ISD Board of Trustees, place 5. My wife, Joanna, and I have lived in the Smithville School District for 17 years, moving here from Houston. We have 1 son and 1 grandson in Austin. I believe and hope, having served 5 terms on the board, to be a strong indicator of my qualifications for the position. I believe education is the only cure for many societal ills. I believe that education is the underpinning of a functional society comprised of free citizens. As a result, I consider service to our school system to be important work. I view it as a way to combat poverty and prejudice and promote quality of life. I view it as a way to help provide our children with a knowledge base which allows them to decide on a compassionate philosophy of life that works for them and determine how best to build upon the last and provide a base for the next generation. I thank you for allowing me to serve in the past, and I ask for your support in the upcoming election.
Second candidate for place 5, Candace Parsons.
Hi, my name is Candy Parsons. Most of you know me as Candy, not Candace. I'm running for place 5 on the school board. I have lived here in Smithville for 40 years, minus my time away at college, but I've always been here. I'm very invested in SISD for many reasons. To begin with, growing up in Smithville, I was a 1994 graduate of Smithville ISD. That education led me to be a 2000 graduate of Texas A&M University. From there, I went on, to work in the biotech industry for about 6 or so years. I went back to Texas A&M and got my teaching certification, and then started teaching here at the Smithville Junior High as the 8th grade science teacher for 4.5 years, and then before that I taught in Luling for a year, but I got back to teaching here in Smithville as soon as I could. The reason I'm not teaching anymore, I stayed home with our youngest. I have 3 children. We have a 14-year-old in 8th grade, an 11-year-old in 6th grade, and then a 4-year-old that will be coming up to SISD soon. So I stayed home with her for a couple of years, and I'm now back part-time in the biotech industry working from home. Another reason, and I think the most important, being a teacher here in SISD and just having kids in the district, I think I personally know the needs of our teachers as well as our students, and I'm willing and very ready to get in there and work for them. Thank you.
Okay, and the third candidate for place 5, Mark Whiting.
Thank you all for attending this forum, and I thank April Daniels for organizing this. I know many of you may be missing your favorite TV program at this time. My name is Mark Whiting. I've been married to Penny Whiting. She's over there, 34 years. We have 3 grown children, all of which are successful professionals. 3 years ago, we moved to a small acreage in the middle of a bunch of burned trees. That's between the 2 parks. We have 2 dogs, a cat, 7 beehives, and I retired from the city of Austin 5 years ago. I'm seeking place 5 position on the Smithville ISD trustee board. Why? First reason, taxes. Smithville ISD is a major portion of all of our property taxes, and I was curious as to how the rates were determined and what our money is being spent on. Second reason, as I reviewed past school board meeting minutes, there were many unanimous 7-0 votes passing on a variety of issues. This struck me as a little strange that there were no dissenting votes. Why? The only way to find out is to get involved. My qualifications. I have a teaching certification in secondary biology and chemistry. However, it's been some time since I was in the classroom. I started teaching as a lab graduate assistant at East Texas State. At Quinlan Independent School District, a district about the size of Smithville, I taught biology and chemistry at Ford High School for 3 years. I coached students in the Olympics of the Mind, and I also coached cyclists that participated in the MS 150 bike rides. I was chosen on the textbook selection committee. While employed in Austin, I became an Austin Community College instructor, and I taught fire hydrant testing and maintenance for several years. At Austin Energy, I was a senior chemist and environmental coordinator for several power plants. Austin Water, I was an environmental regulator and responsible for EPA regulation, writing requests and quotes on supplies, purchasing city funds, assisting budget management. I do have knowledge of contracts, purchasing, administrative policy, employee relations, and education for large organizations.
Thank you. Now we move to place 6 candidates, Mike Davis.
My name is Mike Davis, Jr. I go by Bernie, is my nickname that I was branded with. I was raised in Smithville my entire life, and the family has been in Smithville for 5 generations. I graduated from Smithville High School in '97. I went to attend the fire academy at Austin Community College and was hired by the Cedar Park Fire Department in '98. In 2001, I was promoted to lieutenant, and in 2004 to battalion chief, which I currently have been for the past 12 years. I moved back to Smithville in 2002 and been living here ever since. And also I have a construction business that I do part-time. I have 3 small children, Dulcie age 9, Tripp age 7, and Corbin age 4. I'm running for school board trustee, place 6. I'm seeking this position because the Smithville educational system provided me every opportunity to succeed. Since I have 3 young children, I would like to ensure that they are provided the same opportunities. I'm qualified for this position because through my 18 years with the fire department, I've been involved with oversight for a $9 million annual budget, oversee 19 employees in 4 fire stations on every 3rd day when I'm on shift. I regularly attend council and civic meetings to facilitate government processes. Experience working to develop infrastructure in relation to the growth that Cedar Park has experienced in the almost last 2 decades. Thank you.
Smella Williams.
My name is Smella Williams. I'm married to Butch Williams, and I have 3 daughters, Courtney, Shayla, and Shemaine, and both daughters, Shayla and Shemaine, graduated from Sam Houston State University as well with Scott. So I'm proud of that. I'm a business owner of Sam's Hair Salon for 33 years. I'm seeking re-election to place 6 because I want to continue to find strategies and implement programs to help move our unacceptable campuses to compliance with the Texas Educational Agency Standards for Excellence and improve the quality of our aging physical plants. I take my job seriously, which is why I regularly attend leadership training and informational conferences to keep appraised of what's going on in education realm. As a life coach and a youth pastor of Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church, I often interact with the youth in our community, advocating and mentoring and sometimes mothering. So with all that being said, I do whatever it takes to help every student in this community. I don't just talk, I get down and I walk and I work with them. I'm not just in the school district, but I'm also in the community with them. And the plans that I do have is to step up and do the things that have not been done. We can talk, but talk is cheap. And it's time to put the talk down and start working. Thank you.
Congratulations, everyone. We have completed question 1. Okay, we're going to start again with the second question, which is for all the candidates. I'll start again with the mayoral candidates. This time I'll start with Mr. Saunders. Again, I'll read the question 1 time. If I need to repeat, just let me know. Please describe in detail the community efforts, projects you have taken an active or leadership role in, and how many city council or school board meetings have you attended in the last 2 years? Mr. Saunders. Well, I'm sorry, this is a 90-second question.
I'm ready. It would be impossible to list in the amount of time I've been given the number of different projects and committees I'm currently serving on. But I will highlight a few things. On the topic of school board meetings, I have lunch with the superintendent of Smithville ISD almost every Tuesday, and my uncle was the past school board president. I feel comfortable having conversations with each school board member and administrators, as I have partnered with many of them on special projects for the kids and have more events planned. I've attended multiple school board meetings and am currently on a steering committee to help with the new bond elections SISD is working towards. On the topic of city and county government, well, I'm currently serving as your city councilman on Place 5. Outside of Smithville, I have lunch with our county judge Paul Poppy most Tuesdays. Our county commissioner Clara Beckett is a good friend of mine, and we serve on the CARDPO committee together. And Rose Peach, our county clerk, is practically family. I have personal ties with each of these people, and they know they can come to me with any of their issues, as I know I can go to them. Compared to the other candidates, none of them come close to the contacts I have on a state and national level. I have professional relationships with many of our elected officials and can make sure our concerns are known. As mayor, this is immensely important, as it will be necessary for me to meet with state and federal officials to help obtain any grants that we apply for. Finally, when it comes to communication with the citizens, this is my top priority. One reason I belong to so many different local organizations is so I can experience and view Smithville with different perspectives. I passed out cards tonight with my contact info on them, including my personal cell phone number. Rest assured, I am always available. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Green.
Okay, try to finish up where I was. I hold 3 peace officer certifications, basic peace officer, intermediate peace officer, and advanced peace officer from the Texas Commission of Law Enforcement Officers Standards in Education. I think that will be some help as I take a look at the police department that I've had some talks with. Also, you know, I had a coach tell me, you know, that running back, boy, he can sure run, but he never could cross the goal line, so he couldn't make any points. And I hear about this and I hear about that, but I hear 4 years, I still don't see any sidewalks for the children's safety walking from school. I still don't see any stop signs, and I still see the same potholes in the streets. So I've seen nothing that has improved the city of Smithville since I have been here in 10 years. And it's because, and I was told by a member, we just want to get along. Well, I'm sorry. If you're dealing in real questions and answers and what to do in a political forum, you can't always get along. The gentleman down there, I've been to several board meetings.
Thank you,
and
Mr.
I
Green.
just wouldn't go because it was always
Mr. Green?
0-7.
Thank you. We're going to move to the city council candidates. Troy Stroyer.
On the question of attending council meetings, I can say that I've attended a handful in the past couple of years, and the ones that I have attended mostly consisted of major or controversial agenda items. I've served on several committees and volunteer involvements throughout the past several years. Some of the things I've volunteered with are the Smithville Food Pantry, Thunder on the Colorado, and the Smithville Jamboree. I was on the Smithville Bark Park Committee, where I helped set up and raise money to build our Bark Park. I was a founding board member of the Smithville Community Gardens and served as the treasurer for 4 years. I served as a Smithville Chamber of Commerce board member for 9 years, and during that time served on several committees such as the Tourism Committee, the Festival of Lights Committee, Keep Smithville Beautiful Committee, and my personal favorite, the Smithville Music and Film Committee. I was instrumental in the formation of the Paws on the Patio fundraising event, which is a local event that helps raise funds and awareness for sheltered animals in Bastrop County. And one of my favorite events that I've been a part of and help originate is the Bun Run for the Cure, where money and awareness is raised for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. And in fact, we just had our 7th annual Bun Run this past weekend. And again, thanks to the community, it was an overwhelming success. So thank you guys if you came. I'm also a sponsor and supporter of many Smithville organizations. Some of these include the Smithville FFA, Smithville Independent School District, Smithville Volunteer Fire Department, Smithville Police Department, Smithville Public Library, Smithville Empty Bowl Project, Smithville Parks and Rec Department, Smithville Little League, Smithville Little Dribblers, and also various local churches and nonprofit organizations.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move to school board. I'm going to start with Oh, do you have anything to... I will give you extra time. That's all. Thank you.
You're forgiven, Brian. Having come to Smithville just under 5 years ago, I got an opportunity to volunteer immediately because I think I brought the fire with me. There's no dearth of volunteer opportunities in Smithville, and I took advantage of many of them. One, of course, was volunteering and helping at that fire and after the one last year. Through that effort, I was introduced to the founder of the My Baby and Me maternity home, who was later asked to become a board member, which I did, and I've served on that board ever since. I've worked with Friends of the Library, the Community Garden. I'm very active in my church and take a lot of kind of low-profile volunteer opportunities there. Have worked on the Film Commission and the Photo Fest, of course, using my film background. We'd love to do more of that too, so I'm sure you would be happy for that. And I've also taken the initiative, like it or not, in bringing the smart meter issue to public awareness. That effort kind of took off in a different direction than when we had hoped, but it still unearthed a lot of good information and the fact that there are a lot of unanswered questions, and I think my time's up.
You even got 10 extra seconds. I want to congratulate, I already gave you the 10 seconds.
You did.
I want to congratulate everyone for catching that intentional mistake. I'm glad that you were paying attention. Now we will move to the Board of Trustees, Phase 6, Smithville.
You can talk without a mic. My participation in these community efforts and projects have been many over the years. However, because of the time, I only will enumerate just two of the most important ones. In 2012, I founded Angels Unaware Ministry, a non-for-profit organization that addresses the problem of food insecurities among our youth in Smithville ISD. Angels Unaware provides qualified students with backpacks filled with healthy meals to be eaten over the weekend. The first year of operation, we fed only 5 students, and today the number has grown to 107 students. On a community-wide effort, I volunteered for the past 3 years with the Empty Bowl Project annual fundraiser. The funds from which are distributed to all the nonprofits who also address food insecurities in our town. Recently, Angels was made a partner with this organization. In the past 2 years of my 8 years stint on the school board, I've only missed 2 board meetings. And I'm proud of that record because it's important to attend every meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Davis.
Yes. Coach Little League on and off for between 7 and 10 years with kids. It's important for me to be involved in extracurricular activities with the children here because I believe it teaches them social skills, how to be competitive, and how to develop a strong work ethic. In the past, I was a member of the Smithville Volunteer Fire Department and supported that organization through fundraisers. I've attended 2 or 3 school board meetings with my kids leading the pledge or presenting projects they've done. Thank you.
Mr. Wyman.
I've not attended many school board meetings. However, I've been reviewing the minutes of past meetings on the Smithville Independent School District website, as well as policy and curriculum postings from Smithville and Texas Education Agency. There was a school board training webinar that was recommended by Dr. McNulty, which I did do that. In the community, I did a little concrete work at St. Paul's Fair Garden. While with the City of Austin, I worked with Texas Parks and Wildlife staff and graduate students on environmental surveys to try and make the Walter E. Long Lake Peninsula property a blackland prairie preserve for all citizens to enjoy. I worked as a poll employee lately at Lake Thunderbird in this last primary election, and as a member of the Fayette County Beekeepers Association, I've been giving presentations on top bar beehives, and I donated a hive there for them to raffle off to raise funds. Thank you.
Ms. Parsons.
So
let me just put it this way. The number of school board meetings I have attended in the last 2 years, once I am elected, I will be dedicated to fulfill all the duties of the school board. I have been to all the school board meetings that I have been able to go to, 2 or 3 since this campaign has started. And I think we all got to start somewhere, right? So here I am, and I'm ready to get going and give 100% from here on out. You know, I've been raising our 3 kids and working full-time in the past, but now our youngest is old enough, and I'm only working part-time. Not really, but out, you know, if you ask most people, I'm hired part-time, but most moms work way more than that. But I have more time than I have in the past, so I'm ready to give my time to the school and for these kiddos and to the teachers. Let's see. I did attend a TASB school board conference about a month ago. It was called Preparing to Serve, just for new school board members, so that's, you know, a step in the right direction to get me a little more knowledgeable on how the school board runs, and it was very helpful. As far as community efforts or projects go, you know, if fundraisers count, I've participated in them all for sure. Thank you.
Mr. Morgan. I began my public service to this community at the Smithville Public Library. I participated in the early years of the after-school program, assisting students with their homework. I'm a longtime member of the Friends of the Library, where I served as treasurer for a number of years, and annually participate in the book sale. I served on the Bastrop Central Appraisal District Board of Directors for 6 years, serving as secretary and as vice chairman of the board. I served on the Aqua Water Supply Corporation Board of Directors for 6 years. I was a member of the Smithville Community Network for several years, where I served as treasurer, vice president, and president. I was a member of the Citizens Advisory Committee for Site Selection and Construction of the Smithville High School. I'm a longtime member of the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce and volunteered my time to help with many chamber events. At SISD, I taught junior achievement classes for 2 years at the junior high, volunteered as a mentor for 2 years at the elementary, and 1 year at the high school. In the last 2 years, there have been 24 regularly scheduled meetings of the board, and I have attended all 24. There have been 11 special meetings, and I've attended 10. But more to the point of the question, I think, I attended every board meeting for a year before I was ever elected.